Hi everyone, my name is Juliana Velasco Lopez, and I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about my study abroad year in Spain. I am a double major, majoring in biomedical science and Spanish. So I studied abroad in Jaén, España, which is in the south of Spain. It forms a part of a region called Andalusia, which on the left you can see a little map, and this is what makes up Andalusia. They're known for having very thick and fast accents, which I can attest to because I am a native speaker, and sometimes I had a difficult time picking up on what they were saying, but nonetheless, it was a learning experience. I studied and spent majority of my time in La Universidad de Jaén. This is where my internship took place. And here you can see some pictures. The first picture is of the microbiology lab, which was my workspace, work area, and then just some pictures of the campus itself. Jaén and La Universidad de Jaén. It's a very small town, and a lot of people keep to themselves. It's very family oriented, and the people there have known each other forever. So they're very closed off, but once you let them know that you're an international student or that you're a foreigner, they're very open and want to know about you and how you're liking Spain, and they're very helpful. So the university, the professors, the community was very, very kind to foreigners and international students. Now actually getting into my actual internship. As I mentioned before, I did my internship with the microbiology lab. My professor that I took a course with the first semester, she is actually the head of the department of the microbiology um, in Jaén, in the Universidad de Jaén. And she actually let me take lead on this project, which now we get into my actual internship and topic, Science Across Borders, a collaboration with Micromundo, exploring the antibiotic potential of bacteria and olive-specific soil with an analysis of cultural competency through microbiology and language. So, aware of the global threat and growing global threat posed by antibiotic resistance, the search for new antibiotic-producing microorganisms has become a priority in scientific research. And this project that I took lead on was developed in collaboration with Micromundo, which is a service learning initiative that seeks to increase public awareness of antimicrobial resistance and promote scientific culture. Um, and very specific to this region is olive oil extract, which this is the part where we involve the public. Um, we actually had secondary school students, so middle school students, go out and they would take the first samples of soil near olive trees, which, as you know, the land is full of olive trees in Jaén. And after they isolated the strains, I would then go and carry out additional tests to evaluate their activity against a panel of indicator bacteria. I actually worked with six indicator bacteria, and if you can look on your right, this is a poster I developed for their National Congressional of Microbiology, which was actually held in Jaén that year. And they have worked with Micromono for a decade, and I was able to put together this poster across the ten years that they worked with them. And those 10 years, we actually found 22 strains that showed antibiotic potential traits, and we were able to sequence them, identify them, and send them off to Micromundo. And that is what really pushed me to see how working alongside committed mentors and participating in a project like this that's such public health oriented um really highlighted the importance of global research efforts as well as collaboration with global research. um if you can see this picture in the middle, this is my team. This is who I worked with in the molecular biology lab as well as on my own project. um They came from Brazil, from Colombia, and the lab culture itself was super collaborative, super supportive. All my mentors, all my professors, they pushed for my success. And I'm working in a space that's um, first language is Spanish. And truly, it showed me how, especially in scientific research, it is important that we seek what we do not know, which at times comes from different cultures, comes from different spaces. And olive trees, which is such so specific to Spain and Jaén, has critical information that could further push to the discovery of the antibiotics that we so desperately need. So the work that I did here with Micromundo and just being able to take part of a laboratory that its main language is Spanish, as well as learning like the cultural aspect of working in a lab. Um, I was working with professors who would tell me that I'm their colleague, that to call them their colleague, which was so hard for me, but truly it is centered in teamwork. It is centered in wanting to see the success of your colleagues and helping each other out in any way you can. Um, it truly was immersion of science, culture, education, and community engagement. And I was just so privileged to take part of this project, which developed such promising results. Um, and you could see that just in general, it like the scientific realm at times can feel competitive, but truly what drives the success. And I feel like it's the missing part of a lot of the times during scientific research is teamwork, collaboration, and most importantly, international collaboration. So yes, that is the work that I did, and that's going to take a huge part of the topic, but as well, a little bit more is the culture and language immersion. I can go on and on about the various things that I experienced during my year abroad, but truly I'm a native speaker of the language and the nuances in itself between mm, the slang in Mexico that we speak, as well as just the accents, the phrases that make up the S Spanish language in Spain, even in Andalusia, the differences, like it truly showed me that nuance is everything, and culture and language make up everything and dictate how we see the world. So even though I knew Spanish, the differences in, like I just mentioned, the differences in vocabulary and phrases and slang is the difference that makes up two different cultures, even though they're similar. Um, and that's why I think it's so critical that regardless of how similar we think something is, cultures are important to pushing not only research, but also for pushing um, the knowledge that we know ourselves will make up our daily lives. It's important that we seek what we do not know, which is other cultures, other languages, other practices, and seeing how the people around us outside of our own world are living. And yeah, this is a collage of just the culture, the breakfast, even the breakfast is different. But I truly appreciated my café con leche every single morning. It became a daily thing. Tinto de verano was my favorite thing. The different religions, Catholicism makes a huge part of um, Spanish culture, but even in the towns outside of Jaén, you could see this little fountain right here, Christianism, Islam, and Judaism. And it just dictates how even in Spain, different religions make up the people that live there or are practiced by the people that live there. Yes. And just I learned so much from my year abroad, but most importantly, I learned that you do not know everything. It is okay to ask for help, and you learn so much just by speaking with people. speaking to people about their daily lives, how they see the world. Traveling abroad was independently grew my confidence in a very special way. Um, I'm very happy with my year abroad experience, and I'm happy to further share during the ITP summit, but it was a privilege. And yeah, thank you.